Good evening, everyone. This is Mellissa Thomas of Florida National News coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Friday, May 22nd. Thanks as always for tuning in. Now, as always, we'd like to give you the latest reports from the World Health Organization, the CDC, and the Florida Department of Health for your COVID-19 numbers. Now, according to the World Health Organization, globally speaking, we're looking at nearly 5 million confirmed cases around the world for COVID-19, and unfortunately, 327,000 plus confirmed deaths. According to the CDC, here in the United States, we're looking at over 1.57 million confirmed cases and over 94,000 confirmed deaths. Now, this is according to the CDC, and there's a reason I'm making that distinction. We'll get back to that here shortly. Here in the state of Florida, according to the Florida Department of Health's dashboard, we're looking at over 49,000 confirmed cases here and approaching 2,200 confirmed deaths here in the state. And jumping into your world news today, in France, there are 70 new confirmed cases that have erupted in the schools there. Now, just a bit of an update for you guys. You guys heard us talk a little bit about France reopening their schools last week. Now, over the past week, they opened the primary and preschools. They were planning their phased reopening of the schools based on grade levels. So they opened up a third of the schools in that country, and it began this past week with primary and preschool. Next week will be junior high. So, we so far have seen the results of what's going on with the phased reopening. The French education minister said, obviously, this eruption of cases is a danger to the children. So, of course, they have now closed the schools that have been spotted with the infections. And the majority of these cases have taken place in the northern France area. So all the Paris schools are still currently closed right now. And during this phase reopening, they've allowed a 15 student capacity in the classes. That's the maximum for the amount of students that were allowed in the classrooms. But parents, if they want to stay safe, they are still allowed to keep their kids at home and continue to homeschool them. So that is our update in France. We'll continue to keep you guys posted. As of right now, France did not specify whether or not it was all students, all faculty and staff, or a combination of all of the above in terms of the confirmed new cases. We'll continue to keep you posted with that. Jumping here to the US, going back to the number of cases I was talking to you about a moment ago, President Trump has announced that for the weekend, flags will be flown at half-staff at national monuments and federal buildings in honor of passing the 100,000 mark in terms of the death toll here in the United States. Now, the reason this number is significant is that we report our numbers from the CDC. However, the federal government takes its numbers from Johns Hopkins and their study, because Johns Hopkins accounts for as many as possible for worst case scenarios. So their numbers are much higher. Now, this order came as a request from congressional Democrats who wanted to mark that milestone of 100,000 folks passing away due to COVID-19. So from today until sunset on Sunday, flags will be flown at half-staff at federal buildings and national monuments. And of course, Monday being Memorial Day, flags will be flown half-staff in honor of Memorial Day. The president is expected to be at Fort McHenry in Baltimore to honor Memorial Day. Now, jumping down here to a bit of Florida news, the update that is top of mind to everyone is that the Orange County Economic Recovery Task Force has approved Universal Orlando's reopening in June. Now, the proposed reopening date to the public is June 5th. They'll be doing a phased reopening. Here's how it'll break down. On June 1st to 2nd, it will be the resort will open to staff only, and they'll get safety updates from a Universal executive. On June 3rd and 4th, invited guests and annual pass holders will gain access to the resort. And then on June 5th, officially, the park is set to reopen to the public with, of course, increased safety measures, as you guys heard us talk about a couple weeks ago in their proposal. The Orange County Economic Recovery Task Force made their submission and recommendations to Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, who approved their recommendations and submitted his request to the governor today. And Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings is actually doing his press conference as we speak. So we'll be giving you guys updates a little bit later with that. Not necessarily here on the rundown, but we'll continue to keep you guys posted with the updates. If you've been itching to head back to Universal, now's your time in the next couple of weeks to be able to return to the park on a limited basis. They'll likely keep their capacity to about 25 to 50%. We'll keep you posted on that. Now, right before we head into your business and your sports story, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come right back.
We wanted to move back home to be closer to his family. We decided to go with pods because things were stressful enough.
We weren't sure how long we were going to need storage for, so we needed something that was flexible, and then they can deliver the container to wherever we move to.
We haven't found the perfect house yet, but we're still looking.
Welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. Now to your business story. Taco Bell plans to make 30,000 hires over this summer. Obviously, this is in answer to the economic shift with COVID-19. So they're focusing their jobs hunt. This is going to actually be across all of their stores, the company-owned stores, the franchises, and the licensees. But the focus will be on drive-through, on curbside pickup employees, as well as those processing the mobile app orders, and those focused on sanitation and cleanliness maintenance. Obviously, this is in response to COVID-19, kind of forcing that shift on that shift in priorities, but they want to make sure that the customers still get the great food that they want. If you're someone who's a fan of Taco Bell food, they'll be making those hires. And if you're someone that's looking to be hired, given the amount of job losses that COVID-19 has caused in the economy, this will be your chance to get some work. Visit their website to find out more about that. Jumping down into our sports story, the NHL is moving closer to a July 1st restart date. You've heard our lovely Casey Hudson talk about this during the FNN Sports Take. They've basically chosen to forego the remainder of the regular 2020 season. And once they restart, if July 1st is the confirmed date, they're going to restart with the 2014 playoff structure right out the gate. And you'll hear her talk more about this in more detail, most likely tonight during her show at 8 p.m. So stick around to tune into that. But the Stanley Cup, as of right now, following that 2014 structure, will take place in early to mid-September. So if you're itching to watch something live and exciting, that's the date to mark. And of course, at the start, these games will be taking place with no fans in the stands. So safety first, social distancing. All right, now we're going to jump to your entertainment story. But before we do, we're going to take one more quick commercial break.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
The kid does have a
That's
point.
My hand is clean.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's the entertainment story for the day. For those who love your good novels and your good reads, particularly if you're a James Patterson fan, he is teaming up again with former President Bill Clinton for the second book in their series. The first book they did together was called The President is Missing, which is, of course, a crime mystery and a thriller book. The sequel to that is The President's Daughter. So former President Bill Clinton mentioned that he's excited. He hopes the fans are as excited to read it and hope they enjoy reading it as much as he has enjoyed writing it. He thought it was an honor and thrill to work with James Patterson, especially let alone to be working on a second book with him. So something tells me that they'll be working on even more books in the future, given that this is now an official series. And if you're someone who is itching for that James Patterson thrill, if you're a big novel fan, the sequel in the series releases next year, June 2021. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, that does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to like us on Facebook. You can find us at Florida National News, at FNN News TV, and at FNN News Live. And be sure to subscribe on YouTube. You can find us there at Florida National News. And be sure to click the little bell icon so you never miss a single video of any of our programming. Earlier today, we had our Entertainment Buzz Live program with the lovely Jenny Rosario de Casiano. You can watch that replay on Facebook. The replay on YouTube will be up in a few hours. And tonight, be sure to stick around here because our lovely Casey Hudson returns with the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That does it for me here. I will be back tomorrow afternoon with the Evening News Rundown for you. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Take care.